Boys separated from the man in the UEFA Champions League. We know who's in the semi-final and who's back in England or wherever they are from. Who's also back in Spain. My name is OLADAPO, going to be aka Young Striker 9, and it is a Thursday morning. Go hard or go home. Well, can Bayern Leverkusen continue with the unbeaten run? Remember, already champions in the Bundesliga with games to spare, and they're going to face West Ham tonight in European Cup competition. Well, Xabi Alonso, Granit Xhaka already talking ahead of that one, saying that yes, this is just to have a continuation of the smooth ride in the season. Well, remember, Atalanta will be hosting Liverpool. For Jurgen Klopp, he believes that they want a miracle that can happen tonight in Italy. Can that happen? This is not AC Milan's ground, and this is not UEFA Champions League. Roma AC Milan will be battling it out right there in Italy in the quarterfinal of the Europa League. Remember, the Conference League is also ongoing. We'll be going down tonight as well. But let's start with updates coming from tennis and NBA this morning. And we talk Nigeria Premier Football League. Yes! My team has fired our coach. Sporting Lagos. I hope Longman is not here. But let's just go straight. Let's go straight. A lot of people felt like he got disappointed after losing out at the Barcelona Open yesterday. I'm talking about Rafael Nadal, but Rafael Nadal's first tournament since January lasted only 2 matches, with Spaniard losing 7-5, 6-1 to Alex de Minaur at the clay court Barcelona on Wednesday. Yes, a lot of people felt he got disappointed, but he came out to say that that was the best game since returning to the court. Nadal, back from an injury layoff, looked like his old self, but brief for a moment in the second round match, but couldn't keep up with 11th-ranked de Minaur. This 22-time Grand Slam champion had comfortably defeated 62nd-ranked Flavio Cobolli in straight set in the first round Tuesday in what was his first competitive match in more than 3 months. What's next for Nadal?
I feel much more comfortable and much more happier today than 1 week and a half ago. I was able to manage to play 2 matches, playing against a great player. I mean, when I was able to play, I was not very far, without a doubt. That's the way that I need to proceed today, and my final goal is myself to give me a chance to be ready at least to compete in Roland Garros. I don't hide that, because in my tennis career I was able to play every single tournament at my highest level, trying to win tournaments, and I am not able to do it today. But I hope to be ready in a few weeks, and I'm going to try hard. No, I mean, not more special. No, I would love to have the chance to play a few tournaments before and be here competing for important things, but unfortunately I was not able to make that happen. But at least, as I said, how the things went, for me, just had the chance to say goodbye here on court. That means a lot to me, because I probably felt 1 week ago that I was not able to play anymore in this event, something in this tournament that will be painful.
Maybe we were singing the James Blunt song, "Goodbye, my lovers, goodbye, my friends. You have been the one for me." But hey, let's look at the guys who are still at the Barcelona Open ATP 500 this morning. Games are going down 10 o'clock today, where Roberto Bautista got to take on Cameron Norrie, and Themis Echeverry to take on Brandon Nakashima. It's going to be Dusan Lajovic taking on Alejandro Davidovic Fokina, as Matthew Arnaldi will take on Marco Chogeliti by 11:30. Last game in the singles for today, we'll see Fabio Marzan against Facundo Acosta. Well, Alex de Minaur, that defeated Rafael Nadal, will be taking on Arthur Fuse by 3 p.m. today. Casper Ruud against Jordan Thompson. So the last game of today will be by 4:30, where Roberto Cabela's Biana battles Stefano Tsitsipas. Let us talk WTA Stuttgart Open this morning as games will be going down at different time. Starting 11:30, Elena Rybakina will be up against Veronika Kudermetova, while Ons Jabeur will take on Jasmine Paolini by 1 p.m. Marketa Vondrousova will battle Anastasia Potapova as Iga Swiatek will be taking up a racket against Elisa Mertens by 4 o'clock. Emma Raducanu to battle Linda Noskova by 5:30 this evening, and the last game of today in the singles will see Quang Zhang against Mata Kostyuk. Now, away from that side this morning, let us quickly jump straight and talk NBA, where Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers have dealt with their fair share of postseason disappointment, and for much of the Wednesday night Eastern Conference played on Thursday morning here in Nigeria. Against the Miami Heat, it looked like they would have another one on their hands. This time, however, things were different. Nicholas Batum hit 6 3-pointers, including 5 in the second half, and scored 20 points. And Embiid, after struggling for most of the game, scored 11 of the 23 points and in the first quarter to help the Sixers overcome a double-digit halftime deficit and win 105-104 points. Now, Philadelphia secured the 7th seed and a date with the New York Knicks on Saturday night, while the Heat will face the Chicago Bulls on Friday for the 8th seed and a first-round meeting with East leading Boston Celtics. Now, let's talk about New Orleans Pelicans forward Zion Williamson has been ruled out of Friday's play-in tournament elimination game against the Sacramento Kings with a left hamstring strain. The Pelicans said an MRI on Wednesday confirmed the injury, and Williamson will be reevaluated in approximately 2 weeks. He had 40 points and 11 rebounds the first 40-10 games of his professional career before exiting a tied game with 3 minutes 13 seconds remaining in Tuesday's play-in loss to the LA Lakers. Now, let's talk about suspension ban here coming from Toronto Raptors. The Toronto Raptors, John Tay Porter, has been banned from the league after an investigation revealed he had disclosed confidential information to bettors, limited his participation in at least one game while he was with Raptors, and bet on NBA games while playing in the G League. According to the NBA, in a release announcing Porter's ban, that its investigation remains open and that it is sharing information with federal authorities. Now, let's talk London Marathon this morning. The London Marathon has urged unity on the streets of London on Sunday, when more than 50,000 people will run the London Marathon for charities that include both Palestinians and Israelis impacted by the conflict in the Middle East. And we're getting update that Ratcliffe of Manchester United will also be part of the race. Now let us go run down straight and talk football. Remember, it is more of, if you're not going hard, you just go home. There's a song for Paul Offal of Sporting Lagos, a song for Arsenal, a song for Manchester City. Yeah. Maybe more to go down today in Europa and Conference League.
Rock. But I'm gonna go kill myself outside this so cold. And I gonna need your ginger, brother me. I did for you and you did for me. No be today you dey cover me. Even though we don't see on a regular, I dey with you, my brother. Cash on my shame, we share the money. Everybody is a winner, man. Out there need open explanation. I'm on no foot for a lazy man. I did for you and you did for me. No be today you dey cover me. Even though we don't see on a regular, I dey with you, my brother. Go me we share the money. Everybody is a winner, man. Out there need open explanation. I'm on no food for a lazy man. Ready for you and you do for me. No be today you dey cover me. Even though we don't see on the regular, I deal with you, my brother. Go ahead, go home. Go ahead, go home.
Young Jern, the Wicked producer, Go Hard, and that is also from the album Jiggy Forever. Well, still Kiko Sports Show live on Solutions 93.9 FM. My name is OLADAPO Kunubi. In case you're just tuning in, well, the first half of the show is gone, where we talked NBA, talked athletics, and talked tennis, and now let's talk football. Go hard or go home, and that is the situation of Paul Ofor, who happens to be former manager of Sporting Lagos, the team in the Nigeria Premier Football League. That happens to be the team currently supporting the NPFL this season. Now, Sporting Lagos announced yesterday the sacking of head coach Paul Ofor. Ofor will leave with his assistant coaches, Mika Bello and Edward Green. Now, Ofor managed 10 wins in 30 matches, 12 defeats and 8 draws. Former Katsina United head coach Abdullahi Bifo is expected to take over from Ofor. Now, looking at the position of Sporting Lagos, the team is placed 11th on the NPFL log after match day 30 with 38 points from 30 games. In the last 5 matches, they won 2, lost 2, drew 1, and tied. Sporting Lagos is tied with Abia Warriors that is placed 12th. Doma United placed 13th, and just 2 points above the likes of Kwara United, Bayelsa United. More problems are a team that can survive the drop at the end of the season. Remember, more games to be played by these teams. 8 matches to go in the Nigeria Premier Football League. And for Sporting Lagos, the next game is against Katsina United in the match day 31. Remember, Katsina United is the 7th on the NPFL log with 45 points from 29 games. A team that has scored 30 goals and conceded 27 goals this season. And for Sporting Lagos, has scored 29 goals and conceded 30 this season. So looking at the calculation, Sporting Lagos needs to do better. A win for Sporting Lagos against Katsina United gives the team 41 points, and for Katsina United will still have 45 points. But a victory for Katsina United in that one will give Katsina United 48 points and move to the 6th spot on the NPFL log. Olawale Gio, good morning. Alpha Banishe, good morning. Watching live on Facebook. Remember, you can also join us live on Facebook, YouTube, Solutions 939 FM, Solutions 939 FM. Post your comment, reactions, and comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Now, let's go straight to Super Eagles situation this morning. Yes, since the exit of Jose Peserio, the Nigeria Football Federation is yet to announce a permanent technical advisor, or we call it a coach, for Super Eagles of Nigeria. Remember, Finidi George, who celebrated his birthday days ago, managed the Super Eagles of Nigeria in 2 matches, and Ghana, Mali, and recorded a win and a loss out of 2. However, today we should be expecting the final verdict from the Nigeria Football Federation, who will be at the ends of affairs for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But former Nigerian international Sam Soljai has warned the Nigeria Football Federation that the Super Eagles risked the chances of not qualifying for the 2026 FIFA World Cup if the appointment of a new coach is not done as soon as possible. We'll go on a break. We'll be right back to talk more. Still Kiko Sports Show.
The drama, the suspense, the emotions, the gang moments. Don't miss out on Nollywood movies and web series on YouTube with the YouTube Buffet plan from MTN. You can enjoy over 10 hours of Nollywood content made for you. Sharply dial *312*800# to activate the YouTube Buffet plan from MTN and start enjoying. YouTube made for you.
Every day when my children return from school, I don't recognize them. Hello, do I know you? It's us, mommy.
But these dirty, sweaty uniforms and socks were clean in the morning. Everything don't transform. I understand though. School is hectic. It takes energy to come home this transformed. So I make sure they have some nutritious Milo at breakfast.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them the new and improved Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo!
Ibadan brings up for a life-changing encounter as the Fila Charismatic International presents Wato, Words and Tongues Only. Theme, Eya Asha Eya, I am that I am. Ministering with Holy Ghost and Power, Soji Adeleke, Oluwaloni Bisi, Pastor Silas Omoloyi, Dave Ubo, Obed Basi, and the host, John Olumayowa. Wato will be happening live on the 26th of April 2024 by 10 p.m. at Tafo Arena, Ijokodo, Ibadan. For more information, please call 0706 891 1859. 0706 891 1859. Word, worship, wonders under one roof with one God. Wato, an encounter with I am that I am.
Is the time from the Remedy Radio dial. Solutions at 939 FM here in the city of Ibadan. Now let's talk European football competition. Reaction from managers, players after the disappointing outing last night. Remember, Bayern no longer news through to the semi-final stage of the Champions League, beating Arsenal 1-0, and Real Madrid moving to the next round after penalty shootout against Manchester City. But now let's talk about Pep Guardiola. His team will not be defending the UEFA Champions League title, and hope that will also not affect the English Premier League title defense. Here is the Spanish manager speaking after the loss against Real Madrid last night.
Yes, I would have preferred to win. First of all, congratulations to Real Madrid to reach the semi-finals. They defend so deep with incredible solidarity. So we did everything. I don't have absolutely any regret about what we have done. So always we try as a managers, and so create more and concede less in every single game, because we believe that that helps to be close to win, and we did everything. So defensively, offensively, they make a good goal. So 1, 2, 3, or 4 transition, but it is normal in that level and the quality they have. But we play exceptional in all departments, in everything, and unfortunately we could not win, so that's what it is. Yeah. We'll see tomorrow, so now it's rest, and tomorrow we'll come back, and then Friday we travel to London to play the game. So we'll see. Maybe Friday, Saturday, of course, we'll see how the people react for the mood, and of course the recovery winning is easier than losing that day, but it's what it is. So it's a semi-final FA Cup, we will try to compete as best as possible.
Pep Guardiola trying to forget the disappointment of last night's result against Real Madrid. And well, remember, the Etihad boys will be facing Chelsea in the semi-finals of the English FA Cup before going into the Premier League clash against Brighton and Hove Albion. Well, Rodri, remember, came out before that game, or days before that game, saying that, well, he's tired. And all the players are also tired, looking at how they've been playing games since winning the treble last season. A difficult one, bitter pill to swallow for
Congratulate Real Madrid. Congratulate my teammates for the effort.
nothing. We gave everything, nothing to regret. This is football. Sometimes this is the trick of this competition. It shows how difficult it is to win it. What we did last season, we're very frustrated, to be honest, for what happened. But sometimes it's difficult to explain. We just will need to, tomorrow. I know we have to kind of digest the loss, but tomorrow we have to wake up, stand up, and because we have 2 more competitions to fight. Yeah, we need to stand up. We need to mentality positive, find any ambition that is right now it's difficult to find, but tomorrow we will find it, and go against Chelsea, try to be in another final and fight for the Prem.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys.
So I feel a lot of Chelsea fans will have to just sit back and wait or just keep praying, because this is a wounded Manchester City going into that FA Cup semi-final. And now let's talk about Arsenal that was dreaming of winning the Premier League, Champions League, Cup competition. In days, they dropped from the top of the Premier League log and losing out in the UEFA Champions League. However, for coach Mikel Arteta, accepted that Bayern was far better than his side with the result recorded yesterday. However, next season, you see a better Gunners.
It was a tie of very small margins. In the first leg, obviously, we conceded 2 very poor goals. That has a big effect in the tie. We're still alive, came here. I'm really proud of the players, how they stood up and the way they tried to play, what they tried to do, especially in the first half. And then it was a game that you could see an error, an individual magic moment. It was going to decide the tie. The margins are so small. And yeah, we didn't defend well at all our box in that action. And we end up, after throwing everything and trying everything, not having enough to score a goal and have an option to go through the tie. No, because they were very similar at the Emirates, and we expected that approach. But they believed that obviously was the best way to beat us, and credit to them, and congratulate them for sure for what they've done, because they've done it really well. And when they were little margins, they were slightly better than us, and that's what they are through.
Okay, so now let's also do a little breakdown of the meaning that Arsenal could not win the UEFA Champions League, got knocked out in the quarter-final round. Now, FC Salzburg will take part in the inaugural Expanded Club World Cup next year after being awarded the last of the 12 places for European teams. A place was previously reserved for this year's Champions League winners. However, all 4 teams in the semi-finals have already qualified for the Club World Cup, meaning the place has been reallocated. It goes to the best performing club in the competition over the past 4 years who are not already in the competition. Salzburg's place was confirmed after Arsenal were eliminated from the Champions League by Bayern Munich on Wednesday. Arsenal would have taken Europe's last spot at the Club World Cup had they won this season's Champions League. Actually, I don't know. And I said it, maybe people like overrating the Gunners, but it is what it is, the move on, right? And well, remember, for Thomas Tuchel, should he win the UEFA Champions League, then he can really come out and tell his critics that, well, I'll have to leave with my head high. Because departing Bayern Munich coach Thomas Tuchel took a shot at his critics after guiding the Bundesliga side into the Champions League semi-final with a 1-0 victory over Arsenal. Asked after Wednesday's win at the Allianz Arena whether he felt any gratification given how his season had unfolded with Bayern, Tuchel said, and I quote, "But where does the criticism come from? From you, the media, and now you ask me if I feel any gratification. It is what it is. I've given it all from the first day and will give it all until the last day." Remember, he lost the German Bundesliga title to Bayer Leverkusen. Now let's go about Bayer Leverkusen this morning, a team that will be in action in the quarter-final return leg of the Europa League, and where he will be facing West Ham United. A first leg 2-0 victory was recorded, and Granit Xhaka, former Arsenal midfielder, Xabi Alonso, the coach of the side, spoke ahead of the game yesterday.
Yeah, I had my experience to be here before.
bad and good results for sure. Expecting, of course, 60,000 people here with a big atmosphere, big crowd. They are pushing the West Ham, but of course, with the result at home, with a 2-0 up, we have the confidence to come here and hopefully to get to the next round.
Yeah, we're expecting a tough game. For sure, West Ham, they have the experience in after the Freiburg game when they came back here and they had a good result. And we are ready to have an intense game that they will try to have another game that the one that the week before. But hopefully we will play good, we'll play our football, and we are coming not here to just to defend ourselves. We try to win the game, and that's the best approach for tomorrow.
Okay, so if that would be the best approach for the game tonight, let's look at other games. Well, remember, Liverpool will be taking on Atalanta, although for Jogging Club believes that they're coming to Italy to get a win. But they must score more than 3 goals. Marseille will be up against Benfica. Roma taking on AC Milan in the quarterfinal of the Conference League. Fiorentina to take on Victoria Place and Lille against Aston Villa. Olympiacos will be the guests of Fenerbahce and Park FC Batos Club Brugge. Well, wrap up the show here, and coming up next is from the dailies, where Damola Lafenwa and Favor Laurentola will be on the side looking at headlines on the pages of Nigerian newspapers. What is happening to Kogi State's former governor, Yaya Bello? And, well, Mr. President is also talking. Remember, preparations ahead of the May Day, also ongoing, same as June 12. Well, also tonight, remember, we'll be waiting for the team that's got the power. Damola Lafenwa had to excuse himself out of the studio because he knows I will drag him this morning. Well, this is Dume J, Flavor, Powers. Everybody will have to show power in Europe tonight. My name is OLADAPO Kunubi. Do not change the dial.
What's that to go? Lie on yourself. I'm the war. I'm the fight. I'm the battle. I got the powers. I got the powers. I'm about to release my powers. I'm about to release my powers. Ah, yeah. Abito sheka, kanduka kandusa, lepe la mandi, palebo senelebo. Abito sheka, dabus kaba, lefa sefale, inda boski, parose.
Banu menu menu meji, banu menu menu meji, banu menu menu meji, banu menu menu meji. I got the power, I got the power.
Citadel, Santos, Sanatorium, pandemic, epidemic, pandemonium, catastrophe, cataclysm. I'm a burning fire. I'm a burning fire. Ah, yeah. Abito sheka, kanduka kandusa, lepe la mandi, palebo senelebo. Abito sheka, dabus kaba, lefa sefale, inda boski, parose.
Banu menu menu meji, banu menu menu meji, banu menu menu meji, banu menu menu meji. I got the power.
You know, the first time I heard the song, I think it was Dapo that first played it for me. Then we were in the office then, and we played the song, and I was like, man, you know, this Indaboski guy, he never ceases to amaze me in person. I mean, who would have thought he could? Well, I wasn't surprised anyway, because I've always seen him more of an entertainer, because he dances so well, and he has all this vocabularies that will make you laugh.
Touch not my anointed.
Okay, with that funny. And talking about Indaboski, we have an Indaboski in the news. That's
I was about to ask.
in the news, we have an
Indaboski that
Indaboski
were released gist yesterday.
I mean, we have an
was
Indoboski in the
Kantu
news this
and
morning.
I don't understand this vocabulary. I have to just go and sit down.
The real Abudu Shaker.
Abudu Shaker. Good morning, everybody. It's AM Update on Solutions 93.9 FM. The PA is back. Thank God for being back on air together. My name is Favor Lawrence, and we're about to release some, interesting powers on the news this morning.
Okay, my name is Adidamola Lafenwa, and it's a pleasure to be here this morning. It's the Thursday edition of AM Update, and it's a time where we get to take you through some trending stories in some of today's national dailies. And talking about the Abudu Shaker, the Indoboski himself, the man I would like to call the Lion of Kogi State, but that has been his nickname anyway, the Lion of Kogi State. There was a drama that played out at his residence in Abuja yesterday, where the operatives of the EFCC stormed his residence and barricaded the entrance leading to his.
Made sure it didn't leave.
They were actually there to effect an arrest on him. But that move by the EFCC was strongly resisted by, will I say the court? No, not really by the court, but, I think his governor came to his rescue, and, the governor came with his own security details and everything.
My own, question this morning is, this line between brotherhood and loyalty crossing into being, I don't want to use the word accessory, but I think this is going to be what we can say this morning. I mean, where would that line be crossed? I understand that there is this bond between the two of them, but let the law take its course, and let's, and the fact that the lion, like you say, is a youth. A lot of youths are already, talking about the fact that this man is a youth. We want more youth in the government, and still you misuse the opportunity. When are we now going to have this opportunity ever again?
Well, we can't say he misused the opportunity. Maybe the court of law would
allegedly.
Decide that.
Let's use allegedly misuse the opportunity.
Okay, let's go straight to the stories in the papers this morning. Policemen Kogi governor foil EFCC attempt to arrest Yahaya Bello. And the right under that caption says, anti-graft agency condemns obstruction of arrest. That story is found on page 12 of the Punch newspaper. Cardoso links depleting reserves to debt repayment. That story is found on page 18. The biggest story on the front page of the Punch names wrong. FG NNPC. Okay, moving away from that. Heavy punishment awaits persons threatening Nigeria's unity. Tinubu, the president, is making that statement, and that story is found on page 12 of the Punch newspaper. FD to execute $3.8 billion gas supply agreement in May. 29 Yoruba Nation agitators remanded Oyo demolishes base. That story is found on page 29. And the last one I'll be taking from the front page of the Punch newspaper says, APC drags Kano George before NJC over Ganduje's suspension. These and many more stories will be found on the pages of the Punch newspaper this morning.
All right, on the Nation newspaper, the banner headline here says, the Nigerian Tribune, Kaduna High Court affirms Ganduje's suspension, restrains him from parading himself as APC member. We won't comply with court order on Ganduje's suspension, APC vows. Tinubu is the target, says national chairman. APC NWC drags Kano High Court judge before NJC. After hours of drama over arrest bid, EFCC says Yahaya Bello will be arraigned today, Thursday. Now, EFCC flaunting court order. Bello cites a subsisting court order restraining agency from arresting, detaining, prosecuting him. Supreme Court has said no court can gag EFCC. Others, Falado, CSO's activists, cautioned EFCC. EFCC's amateur misparading Nigeria as lawless society. Okay, now Train 8, Nigeria LNG expansion threatened by alleged contract breaches. And we have all set for PDP NEC governors meet, speak on the Magum others. And Ondo 2024-7, APC governorship aspirants allege printing of fake membership card for non-members. Tinubu vows to deal with criminals threatening Nigeria's sovereignty. Finally, on the Nigerian Tribune this morning, Oyo Secretariat invasion, 78-year-old man, 28 others arraigned for treasonable felony, possession of firearms. Government demolishes Yoruba Nation agitators building. Page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune.
Okay, sliding into the Vanguard newspaper this morning, I have this one saying that those threatening Nigeria's sovereignty have price to pay. Tinubu, the story is found on page 5. Killings, Benue communities protest herdsmen attacks, want grazing law strictly enforced. Page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. Ganduje cake says Kano court affirms a suspension. That story is found on page 32. Yoruba Nation, or your government demolishes Onitiri Abiola's residence. That story is found on page 10 of the Vanguard newspaper. CBN not using reserves to defend Naira. Cardoso. Coalition threat. PDP governors move to avert implosion. The story is found on page 7. Train 8. Contract dispute threatens Nigeria LNG expansion plans. And the last one now will be taken from the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. It's saying that rising prices of foodstuffs, FCCPC deploys operators to markets. These and many more will be found on the pages of the Vanguard newspaper.
All right, on the Nation newspaper, we have Kaduna Assembly Speaker alleges threat from El Rufai's son. There was also this news yesterday about, the probe of El Rufai spanning about 8 years. Trial, federal government faults Kanu. And violent ethnic agitators will pay the price, says Tinubu. President hosts Afenifere leaders. 29 Yoruba Nation crusaders arraigned in Ibadan. Drama. Confusion trail EFCC's bid to arrest Yaya Bello. Jimo K. Akinterawa others kick over membership issues. Page 5. APC kicks against illegal court order on Ganduje. Chair, President, the target. PDP has no leadership change plan. Governors insist. Naira abuse. Davido, others react as Cubana chief priest gets bail. CBN not defending Naira with foreign reserves, says Cardoso. Page 4, page 5 of the Nation newspaper this morning.
Okay, it's 9:39 on 939 Solutions, and we are going to be reaching out to our guest analyst this morning to talk about some of those stories that we've read to your listening this morning. It's still AM update on Solutions 939 FM. Good morning. Okay, we now have Comrade Ayodeji Ajishokbe joining us virtually this morning. A beautiful morning to you, Comrade Ayodeji Ajishokbe.
A good morning to you, my comrade. And yes.
Good morning.
Okay. Now let's take a trip to Abuja, where there was a mild drama yesterday between the operatives of the EFCC and the supporters and the security details of attached to the governor of Kogi State and attached to the ex-governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello. Now, I'm sure it is no longer news. Looking at what happened yesterday, what's your take? Let's even start from that. What's your take on the mild drama that happened yesterday?
There are issues involved here, you know. The news broke yesterday, and we saw the drama, you know, the Nigerian people, they will record things and forward it, and it's circulating. Now, over the years, we have seen EFCC do this drama. They did it in the home of the former governor of Imo State.
Rochas Okorocha.
I think they even forcefully gained entrance by removing the roof or something like that.
Yes.
We saw them do it in the home of Mike Adenuga in the days of tenure extension of it is alleged that Atiku, who was heading the war against tenure extension. We have seen it in a number of places. But the question is, what warranted this? You understand? Were invitations issued that they did not heed? And under the law, is it permitted by EFCC to forcefully take people into custody? Well, a lawyer this morning told me that there are processes and procedures for all of this. And that he asked whether I had seen anywhere that EFCC claimed that they had invited Yahaya Bello, and Yahaya Bello did not honor the invitation. I said I haven't seen. EFCC did not make such a claim that they invited Yahaya Bello and he refused to honor the invitation. So if you had not invited Yahaya Bello, why do you want to go and apprehend him like a common? Of course, I mean, anybody that has been accused of 80 billion plus, that's what the man and
80.2 billion naira.
Exactly. And his other brother. And, you know, some of the monies have been traced. I remember this particular one, it was traced to a particular school they were paying in dollars and something like that. I think they recovered the money from that school. Yes, I remember that. So why won't Yahaya Bello, why won't he surrender himself?
That's what let me remind you that a federal high court sitting in Abuja actually gave an order yesterday that he should be arrested. A federal high court in Abuja gave an order ordering that Yahaya Bello should be arrested.
Even all these court orders, why does it require a court order? You understand? EFCC has the power. If you invite people and they refuse to show up, they have the power under the law. Maybe they want to just procedural. And be that as it may, that man, the new governor in Kogi State, drove all the way from Kogi. And even the arrest was resisted. I don't understand these things. EFCC is a legitimate, organization. And they came with legit forces, you understand, DSS and EFCC. And then it is still these federal agencies that are resisting there. I can never understand that. It's like FBI going to arrest somebody and then that person is guarded by FBI agents and FBI agents are shooting at themselves. Who are they serving? Are they serving the individual or they are serving the nation? You understand?
Yeah.
I don't get all these things. And then that man, what's his name? Ojojo. He drives from Lokoja. And under the cover of this thing they call immunity. You understand? He goes into the man's house and he drives off and off they go. It's just stupidity. For how long? Will he run? How long will he run?
But there are actually many questions begging for answers there. Like you actually asked the other time that why is Yahaya Bello hiding?
What is he hiding?
Why is he hiding? I mean, we had a former governor that moved.
Surrendered himself.
That surrendered himself. That is Ayodele Fayose. He went.
He wore a t-shirt
with a
and said,
t-shirt.
arrest me.
Arrest me,
FCC.
I'm here. Do you know? I mean, so what is keeping? Why is Yaya Bello hiding or resisting arrest? And there was another court injunction that was issued in Kogi State, State High Court in Kogi in Lokoja yesterday too, restraining the EFCC from arresting. It brings to question why are this courts? A court will give a judgment that you arrest. Another court will, and people have been questioning the jurisdiction.
The question here is, can the state high court actually determine the matter between the federal government and its agencies?
There have been questions been raised that should the state high court, does he have the jurisdiction to determine this kind of thing?
Well, you see, let me tell this conflicting judgment came in the era of the military. When clearly only federal offenses can be tried by federal. That is why they are called federal high court. And that is why the others are called state high court, state judiciary. You understand? But it got to a situation when the military, the states were giving judgment in matters that concerned them, and they knew that the federal court had no jurisdiction. They were courageously, you understand? The judges in the state high court, they were courageously giving judgment. And then the federal authorities, and they were giving judgment against the federal authorities, you understand? You will recall Ojuku, Ojuku Vilasa Lord. Federal government wanted to do something. The state government gave another, and then the federal agents should package the place that it is not their property, you understand? That was when the federal, the national judiciary under the Supreme Court started toying with, and then they started calling them courts of coordinate jurisdiction. What's the meaning of that? How can you have coordinate jurisdiction? You understand? Coordinate jurisdiction means that, okay, you can make pronouncements, I can make pronouncements. No! That's what I mean. Where do you have you ever had in the United States where we copy and the British? Have you ever had court of coordinate jurisdiction?
Comrade, are these courts not bringing in confusion? I would like to quote a section of the Constitution to you now that talks about this particular. I will quote it's a section 251, subsection 1, and I'd like to read the paragraphs P, Q, and R. I would just want to paraphrase. It states that where the federal government and its agencies come before the court, they must go before the federal high court. So what is all these excuses coming from state high courts putting mouth or carrying out, giving out injunctions in a case involving the federal government?
They call it forum shopping. They call it, you see, when the court gives an order, I can't remember the case now. So a federal high court gave an order. Yes, even Ganduje. Yes, that's the most recent one.
Yes.
Yes. The battle for Ganduje State. A federal high court has said he stands suspended. And the argument is that if a court gives an order, whether it's even an order illegally and wrongfully given, you have to go to court to vacate it. And of course, you know what it takes, the judicial processes in Nigeria, for you to get even to get the processes moving. You understand? Because even when you get the process into court, some people will challenge it and challenge jurisdiction and challenge every and anything. So it is that is why our cases go on and on. You vacate one order in Abuja, you vacate another order. Before you know it, they are heading for the appeal court. Even the substantive suit itself, I have seen cases in which substantive suits are not hard for 6 years. So that is it. That is clear. What has respect, and then something will happen. Okay, why did they leave it to that states are not interfering in federal? Why is federal interfering in state matters? Are there no state issues that are not clearly state matters? And then the federal government, the federal court will intervene in it. Something will happen in River State, and then if you think you cannot get, that is the problem. If you think you cannot get justice in your state, you go. They call it forum shopping. You go and you go to federal high court in Abuja. They usually go to Abuja because Abuja is federal. You understand?
Yes.
And then they call them courts of coordinate jurisdiction. It is the military that started it when the state high courts were courageously giving judgment against federal government. And the federal government said, okay. And they started giving the federal high courts jurisdiction over state matters. That is it. The confusion. Oh, look, that's one of the things. When people are saying, I don't like the word restructuring. People think this restructuring that they are talking about, they think it's about political restructuring. No, it is deeper than that. It is deeper than politics and, governance, state police, correctional facilities, and all that. It is deeper than that. The judiciary, the judiciary is key. The judiciary is the arbiter. Today, if you have a marital issue of divorce over property or anything, you will take it to the Supreme Court. Divorce inside Foko, inside Agbole, they will take the matter to Supreme Court. Late last year, we were told that there are about 38,000 cases pending in the appeal court. I've seen senior advocates, not learned still, revered knowledge, telling me that their cases have been pending since 2017, 2016, 2018 in the appeal court. It has not come up for mention. Now, this thing we call justice. How does it now work out?
Okay.
So this thing that they call the one they call restructuring, it is beyond politics or beyond political. Let us go back to region.
It's
Let us go back to. It is beyond that. Judiciary is a part of the issue of restructuring. All these, cross breeding and causing confusion, and it is a threat. Let me tell you, it is an active threat to democracy. It is a threat to democracy.
Okay, let's talk about justice on a very light note. I want to go to the case of celebrities. We really don't have much time. The case between the Cubana chief priest and that of Bobrisky, escalated in such a way that videos have been popping up online. Celebrities, political, public office holders, sharing, just spraying the naira illicitly. Now, the first question I want to ask on this is going to be in bulk. What is the EFCC, trying to achieve with this? And number two, let us look at the way the naira can actually be abused and how it can be used according to the law so that people would not, get into this kind of trouble. Just 3-1, very fast.
Even in the days of 25 kobo in coins, that heavy thing that looks like a weapon, people were using, they were spraying it to. 25. Have you forgotten 25 kobo? That double thick coin.
Yeah, thick, yeah.
Big coin. Are you know that they were spraying it, so to say, at party, sticking it on people's forehead? Because I think the biggest currency then was 20 naira. That was not even 50 naira. 50 naira came later.
Much later, yes.
They were sticking those 25 naira coins. Heavy. They were sticking it on people's forehead. But how many will you stick on people's forehead? You cannot even throw it. It becomes a weapon when you start throwing it in that way. So it is a cultural thing. But you see, everything that has been decently done in the past, you understand, we have gone overboard with it. Look, it is indecent. It is so indecent. I've been to parties where they will cordon off the stage. Even the people they are spraying the money, they are not touching it. The money is just dropping to the floor. You understand? Even the people who are spraying the money, they think, it is beneath me. It's like I have so much money. This money you are spraying.
And you see them dancing on those notes. Trampling on them.
Dancing on it. And then they will package, they will carry everything and give it to, I like that sometimes, and give it to the less privileged, those who are begging and all of that at the party, you understand? But that is not giving. When you give like that, it is not structured, you understand? It will not, somebody that goes to a party to be a spectator, he goes home with 1 million naira. What do you think the person will do? He has no plan. The person has no plan now. He will just spend the money and not invest it. If you put 1,000 people together, maybe only 1 or 5 will do the needful with it. So it is disgusting. It is very offensive. We have just gone overboard with the things we do. People we used to do parties before, but look at what they do, how they do parties now. Look at how they do parties now. You understand? People who you would not expect. We are talking about a party that is likely to put out, is surely going to come, and we were costing it. Now there's no way they're going to do it modestly. Modestly, you collect a hall 1.5 million, you decorate 1 million. You before you put food together 2 million, and before you do wake keep and all of that, you're talking about 10 million. I mean, for God's sake, you understand? So we have gone overboard with everything that we do. Decency. In fact, that's just it. We have lost our sense of decency. We have lost our sense of decency and modesty. That's just it.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining us, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Comrade Ayodeji, for joining us.
My
today.
pleasure always. To have a most hope today. God bless you and God bless our union.
God bless you, sir. All right, we've been speaking with Comrade Ayodeji Ajishokwe, a seasoned broadcaster and a public affairs analyst. It's 3 minutes to 10. It's about time for us to call it a wrap on the program today. You know, the Thursday edition is always a shorter one. Okay, I'd like to say a big thank you to you for staying tuned to your number one radio dial solutions, 93.9 FM. My name is Adi Damala Lafenwa, wishing you a very fruitful day.
Yeah, have a wonderful day. My name is Favor Oloruntola.